Lately, I've been seeing a lot of different things on social media around somatic release. You may know what I'm talking about if you've seen videos of people doing breath work or other modalities and their body shaking. Now, this resonated deeply with me at one point after I experienced a kundalini awakening during an ayahuasca experience and then read a book called The Body Keeps the Score. One of the main ideas of this book is that the body stores trauma in the tissues. And this can certainly be true. And a lot of people that read that book think then that these somatic practices where one has to shake are actually a good thing because you're releasing trauma, right? You're getting rid of that. This can certainly be true, but there also is a complex that can be developed in the consciousness that is important to consider. See, the ego likes to achieve. It likes to think that it does something and gets something out of it. It likes to feel a sense of progress. And so in the early phases of spiritual development, it is common for there to be a spiritual drivenness that does these somatic exercises to feel that sense of progress. And the consciousness starts to develop an association of the body having a somatic experience with the attachment to the sense of progress. There is a thought form or pattern that says, if I shake, I grow spiritually. And this concept or pattern can be very attractive to the spiritual driven seeker. But wait a second, isn't my body just doing what it wants to do? What we eventually realize at a certain level of awareness that it is actually the consciousness which drives the body. The body is almost more of a puppet to the consciousness, which is you. And that consciousness can be imprinted with concepts and ideas that perhaps don't necessarily represent the easiest path or fundamental truth, which then the body becomes subject to. And in this instance, the idea that one has to experience lots of physical duress in order to transcend energies that no longer serve them is an example of a thought form or pattern that doesn't necessarily need to apply to you. And what happens is that you end up having way more somatic experiences and physicality experiences that can be difficult than are really necessary to release the energy and thought forms and traumas that exist in the etheric and physical body. And so I personally spent years having lots and lots of somatic experience that was very, very difficult, that frankly wasn't needed because of this unconscious sense of progress that I was striving for in my spiritual drivenness. And so I share this all with you that although your body may actually have things stored in the tissues, the issues in the tissues, like they often say, there also is a path to release these repressed emotions and experiences that isn't so physically intense and uncomfortable. And so what I recommend you do is when you start to experience somatic experiences in your body, you can say to your body with a quiet mind, if you would like to release this that way, that is fine, but it is not necessary. Or some language like that. And what you'll find is that you're often able to release these repressed energies in a much more graceful, calm, and peaceful way than your body shaking around like a jumping bean, which is certainly what I was doing for a long time. And that, in fact, that is just a conditioned program that is not actually a fundamental truth of how you can advance your level of awareness by releasing the traumas and energies that are blocking up the truest expression of yourself. And so if you are currently engaging in somatic practice, I think that's amazing. I think it's just important to be aware of some of the potential downsides and risks of developing that affinity to the body moving that way to process emotions, traumas, and other thought forms that are no longer serving you. I know a lot of you might love your somatic work, and this might be at odds or challenging with whatever other people have told you. But I encourage you to be open to the idea that your spiritual growth does not have to be such a physically intense process, and to try it out for yourself. Ultimately, at the end of the day, our job as spiritual seekers is not to blindly follow everyone's directions, but to be open to new ideas and to experience them ourselves so that we can find an ultimate truth that resonates with our experience. That is all I'm trying to share, and perhaps it's something that you can explore in your own practice. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I want to be creating lots more videos on some of these less examined spiritual nuances that frankly took me a long time to understand. And so if that sounds interesting to you, I highly recommend you subscribe to this channel. I also do a lot of long form writing on Substack. You can find the link to that below, on some of the nuances that one encounters as they evolve in their consciousness. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next video.